A very good morning to all the students of class 12th political science once again here to the online classes. Students, in the last video we had started our ninth chapter, that is globalization, and in that I told you some important concepts related to globalization. In that, first of all, I told you the meaning and the definition and the all the elements which come under the globalization, through which we can understand the meaning of globalization. So I told you that the idea globalization is nothing but it's all about the ideas, capital, trade and culture, or we can say the free flow of ideas, capital, trade and culture from one part of world to the other part. Within the society also you can see the impact of globalization as we try to copy the Western world in terms of our lifestyle in clothing, eating. Like we use these jeans, blue jeans which you wear. This is one of the fashions which we have copied from the Western world. So it came into through the process of globalization. That was the idea, concept which was followed in the Western world. Indian dresses were not such as we are wearing it now, but that is also one of the concept which has come through globalization to India. So I'm just talking about India, but all around the world this is happening. This concept of globalization has an impact on almost all the societies around the world, maybe developed countries, developing countries, or under developed countries. So and in any case, some ideas, capital, trade, culture, there is influence from one particular part of a country to the other parts of the world. So if I say globalization has as a coin has two sides, so if there is a globalization, it has positive impact also and it has negative impact also. That we had already done in the last video, that there are some positive impacts and there are some negative impacts of globalization on our society. But its impact or the degree of its impact on a particular part of a world is different from one another. We cannot say the impact of globalization is equal and same to all the parts of the world or same to all the countries. It depends what kind of a country it is, what type of government it is having, what type of society it is having, what culture they are following. Accordingly, the impact of globalization takes place. So today we shall be studying that since there are some consequences, what are the consequences of globalization? Since as we are studying globalization as a process of free flow of ideas, capital, trade and culture. Okay, if they are the free flows of ideas, capital, trade and culture, and we have also read about the causes, positive, negative, both. So there are, we can say this particular word globalization is not a narrow term, it is multi-dimensional. We cannot explain it in just in terms of economy or in just terms of capital or trade. It is a multi-dimensional, so we have to understand it in terms of political influence, economic influence or the consequences, or cultural consequences, and they are needed to be distinguished from one another. To understand the real meaning of globalization, we cannot understand it as a whole, so we have to distinguish between political consequences, economic consequences and cultural consequences. So before I start the political consequences, the topic for the day, I would like to tell you few causes, important causes, as I in the last video I could not finish the topic causes of globalization. I told you the two important causes, but there were 5 causes and I would like to in short time to discuss it with you. Okay, so this topic, particular causes of globalization. What are the causes, important elements because of which this particular concept of globalization has been so dominating all around the world? There is not a single country which is not influenced by globalization in terms of ideas, capital, trade or culture. Somehow they are influenced. So what are the causes? The causes are technological innovation and advancement, because as we know today so much of inventions and discoveries are taking place in field of technology. Because of this advanced technology, the globalization has come up to the higher level now. And the second is transport improvement. Before, the people were not able to go from one country to another country easily. It was time taking also, it was expensive also, but now the advanced transport improvement also a part of, we can say, a technology. Because of the technological innovations, improvement in the transport improvement has led to the causes of globalization, improvement in the globalization or the spread of globalization. or we can say flow of ideas, capital, trade and culture has been even more than before. And trade liberalization, we can say, as India and China for example were having the closed door economy previously, but after 90s they have open door economy in which they have removed all the trade barriers. Now all the foreign countries or the MNCs can come and settle, can have trade with India. There is improvement in the import and export ratio of these countries. So this is called trade liberation, because of which there is a improved globalization. Growth of MNCs. So when there is trade liberalization, the multinational companies have shown interest in the developing countries. They are coming in and they are setting up their plants and industries, because of which there is a lot of flow of capital and ideas, and lot of trade takes place. And of course it also influences culture of one country on another, and removal of exchange control. So these are some of the 5 important, we can say, causes of globalization, because of which this concept has been so dominating all around the world, because of these important 5 factors. So I shall also read it from your NCERT book about these 5 important factors. So causes of globalization, I'm taking the first one. While globalization is not caused by any single factor, so we can, as I told you, globalization is a multi-dimensional concept which cannot be studied under a single factor, but technology remains a critical element. But technology is one of the most important element if we talk about the globalization. There is no doubt that the invention of the telegraph, telephone and microchip is more recent time has revolutionized the communication between different parts of the world. So they are saying about, since there has been lot of inventions in the field of technology, like telegraph or the telephones or the mobile phones, the communication has improved a lot since then. When the printing initially was being it laid the basis for the creation of nationalism. As when the printing came into being, there was an invention of printing machine. At that time it played a very important role in the nationalism at the different parts of the world, in India also during 1940s. Okay, so also today we should accept that technology will affect the way we think of our personal as our collective life. So today also we can expect that now technology again will play a very important role in the life of a personal person, if we talk about the personal life or a collective lives of the whole society. So we can say technology is one of the important element or the cause of for the we can say domination of the globalization around the world. Now the ability of ideas, capital, commodities and people to move from easily from one part of the world to the another. They are saying ability of, as we are saying, globalization is idea, capital or flow of commodities or people from one part of the world to or the country to other part. How is it possible? It is possible because now they are more easily able to move from one part of the world to another, has been possible largely by technological advances. Okay, now they are talking about the technology here. It was about the communication and technology both, but mostly they were discussing about the communication, how communication has become so important after the invention of telegraph and telephone. The difference we could see in the society, and the ideas flew from one part of the world to the other so easily because of the more improved communication skills. Now it is talking about the transport system, okay, because of the technology. The pace of these flow may vary. For instance, the movement of capital commodities may most likely be quicker and wider than the movement of people across the different parts of the world. So they are saying because of the use of technology, or we can say these communication skill, the ideas, if I call from one part of from India to USA, within second I can exchange my ideas, I can express what I feel. So the pace of these flows may vary. From instance, the movement of capital and commodities will most likely be quicker than the other if we terms talk about the people. Next important is globalization, however, does not emerge merely because of the availability of improved communication. So they are saying globalization, however, does not emerge merely. It is not only the communication. Where it is important is for the people in the different part of the world to recognize this interconnection with the rest of the world. Currently, we are aware of the fact that events taking place in one part of the world could have the impact on another part of the world. They are talking about the interconnection between the world or the different countries, like the bird flu, or we can take the example of coronavirus also. Currently as we are saying how it is spreading from one country to other. It is having no international boundaries. The bird flu or the tsunami is not confined to any particular nation. It does not respect national boundaries. Similarly with this pandemic corona, there is no it does not respect any national boundaries. It is spreading from one part of the country to another. When major economic events take place, their impact is felt outside their immediate local nation or regional environment at the global level. So they are only talking about the interconnection between the people and the different countries. So now after the consequences, I am now starting as I told you, globalization is a multi-dimensional concept, and as a coin it has positive and negative impacts both, but we need to distinguish between political consequence, economic consequence and cultural consequence, as these are the three important elements of globalization which we shall be studying. So the first one is, what are the political consequences of globalization? Okay, so in relation to politics, what are its consequences? First of all, we are starting with the negative impact. What are the negative impact in terms of globalization which is having on politics of a state? So globalization, first point is, globalization results in reduction of state. I am reading it first of all. Globalization results in reduction of state's capacity. Okay, that is the ability of government to do what they do. All over the world, the old welfare state is now giving way to a more minimalistic state that performs certain core functions such as maintenance of law and order and security of its citizens. So now they are saying what is the impact of globalization. So first of all, globalization results in reduction of state capacity. If we talk about any country or any government, so because of the globalization, its ability or capacity, we can say, is reducing, because as according to the negative impact, as some people believe that because of the globalization, the impact or the capacity of the government to control its administration is reducing. That is the ability of government to do what they do. It means the ability which the government has to control its people or its territory has now reduced because of the globalization. All over the world, the old welfare state is now giving way to a more minimalistic state that perform. Now all around the world, if we see, we can see a change or a shift in the welfare state also, which used to be there. Previously they used to perform all the functions related to their territory, but now they perform only certain core functions which are very important, like maintenance of law, order and security of its citizens or territory. Except these 2 or 3 functions, they are not involved in any other decision making for their particular territory. So some thinkers believe that this is a political, we can say, negative impact of a globalization on politics of a particular state. Second point is, that is, the power of the state has reduced. It used to be more functional previously, but since this concept has been more dominating around the society, the power of the government has been limited to only maintenance of law and order or security of its citizen. That's it. The entry and the increased role of MNCs. Now they are talking about since with the globalization, with the entry of MNCs has increased all over the world. If you talk about, I'm not talking about India only, this is a consequence all around the world. Maybe its impact can be different in terms of degrees, we can say. Maybe it may be more in some of the states, political consequences. In other country may it be minimal, but they are there. The entry and the increased role of MNCs all over the world lead to reduction of the capacity of government to take decisions. So again they are saying that the capacity of the government has reduced a lot because of the entry of MNCs, multinational companies, which are the foreign based countries which make or settle their plants or industries in the developing countries. mostly for the profit. So they are saying because of the increasing role of MNCs in the developing countries, mostly the role of the government or the state in the developing countries has reduced. So these two are, we can say, the negative impact of globalization on politics of a state. So this is comes under political consequences if we talk of the negative impact. So if I talk about the positive impact of globalization on politics of a particular place, on the other hand, some thinkers think that there are some positive impact of globalization on the politics or the power of the state. That is, the first one, globalization does not always reduce state capacity. In the negative, we were reading that with the coming of globalization, the capacity of the state has reduced. But they are saying here, some thinkers, globalization does not always reduce state capacity. The primacy of the state continues to be unchallenged. The primacy means the importance, the apex position, the most powerful position is still of the state, which continues to be unchallenged, and it cannot be challenged by anyone or globalization. Globalization cannot challenge the power and the primacy of a state. So this is one of the positive impact. And the second one studying under it is, the state continues to discharge its essential functions, law, order, and national security. So these were some of the basic functions which are undertaken by the state or the government. So they still continue and they are discharged by the state, okay, and consciously withdraws from certain domains from which it wishes to. And they are saying, as in the upper negative impact, we were saying that now since the coming of the MNCs, the capacity and the power of the state has reduced, but this is not so. As consciously itself, state withdraws some of its functions and domains which it wishes to. So the powers and the functions which state doesn't want to work with, it itself consciously with its assent gives to the functioning to other people. So we cannot say that the capacity of the state is reducing or the power of the state is reduced or minimized because of the globalization, but we can say that still the main functioning is under the state and it is unchallenged, and the functions which it withdraws is because of its own wish. It is a wish of the state which functions it want to withdraw from its functioning list. Third one, state capacity has received a boost as a consequence of globalization. State capacity has received a boost. Now state capacity to work or function in a society, now it has improved even more. Why? Because of the consequence of globalization. In fact, we were saying the capacity of state or the government's power is reducing, but this is opposite to it. As we are saying, it is a boost to the power of the state because of the globalization. Because of the coming of the globalization, it has a positive impact on the state capacity to work because of the advanced or the enhanced technologies available at the disposal of the state. Now state has advanced technologies because of which it is getting all the important information regarding its citizens, and it becomes very easy to function and to manage and to balance the citizens accordingly. For example, we can say now we have the Aadhaar cards, so it became very easy for the, we can say, state or the government to have all the important data of all the citizens. So this is the now Aadhaar card is one of the most important identity we have, and through this we are linked to the different bank accounts and all the details, and in every field we will go, we require an ID, and Aadhaar card is that particular ID. So because of the technology and advancement, the work of the state has improved and become very easy to control its citizens. Now I finished with these political consequences, okay, with the important notes which I have shown you. Now I have I want to read the NCERT part also, so that it would be more easy for you to understand while you will also read the NCERT book. So I'm starting from here. This is from here. At the most simple level, if we are talking about political consequences of the globalization, what impact it has on the politics or the state or the government, at the most simple level, globalization results in an erosion of state capacity. Erosion of state, it means it is talking about the negative impact of globalization on politics or on the power of the state. That is, they are saying because of the globalization there is an erosion of state capacity. that is the ability of government to do what they do. All over the world, the old welfare state is now giving way to the more minimalized state that performs certain core functions. This I have already explained to you, I am reading it. Core functions such as maintenance of law and order, I told you, and the security of its citizens. These are the core functions of a state, and they are saying now the power and capacity of a state are eroding slowly, or it is taking erosion of a state. All over the world, the old welfare state is now. So the old welfare state, the states used to function, their core values of functioning were maintenance of law and order, security of its citizen. However, it withdraws from many of its earlier welfare functions. Now, state has withdrawn from many functions, which were the functions under the state, but now they have withdrawn and given away. Withdrawn from many of its earliest welfare functions directed at economic and social well-being. In place of welfare state, it is a market that becomes the prime determinist of the economic and social priorities. Now they are saying more than the government, it's written where? Well-being. In place of the welfare state, it is a market that becomes a prime determinant. They are saying the market is playing the most important role, not the state. As the state's capacity to work has reduced because of the globalization, but the capacity of the market has improved. It is market which is more dominant now, or in terms of all the economic and social priorities of the people. The entry and the increased role of multinational companies, again they are saying that we have done increased role of multinational companies all over the world leads to reduction in the capacity of government. Now the capacity of the government to take decisions and function in their own country has reduced because of the entry of MNCs, multinational companies. Their role has enhanced a lot now. So these were some of the negative consequences as we read in our notes also. From here we are taking some of the positive impacts or the positive consequences. What are the positive consequences? At the same time, globalization does not always reduce state capacity. Now they are saying globalization on the other hand always does not reduce state capacity. The primacy of the state, primacy is the most important person at the apex, or we can say the government, continues to be unchallenged. So we can say this, it's we read here, the primacy of the state, the position of the state, the powers and the function of the state still continue to be unchallenged, since the concept of globalization has come and dominated the society, but still the position of the state continues to be unchallenged basis of the political community. The old jealousies and the rivalries between countries have not ceased to matter in world politics. The state continues to discharge its essential function. They are saying still under globalization also all the state continue to discharge its essential functions. And what are the important functions of any state or any government? Laws and order and national security are the first two important primary functions of any state. And consciously they are withdrawing and giving up certain functions or the domains with their own wish. Okay, state continues to be, so we can say state continues to be important since the concept of globalization has come and spread all over the world, but still the state continues to be important. Indeed, in some respect, the state capacity has received a boost. In fact, they are saying in some respect, or in a way we will talk, that is, we can see state has got a boost to its power and consequence of globalization. Because of the consequences of globalization with enhanced technologies, because of the technology available at the disposal of the state to collect information about it, becomes very easy for the state to function or plan, make different plans and policies, and to set them up properly and to implement them properly in the society through different procedures. It becomes easy because of the technology which has come because of the globalization. So with the information, the state is better able to rule. State is able to rule better, no less able. Thus state become more powerful than they are earlier. So they are saying, on the other hand, saying some of the thinkers are saying state has become more powerful because of the globalization, because of the new technology. So because of the change of ideas, technology, commodities, people from one place to another, the work of the government has become more easy. So this is the end of this particular topic. In the next video, I shall be taking what are the economic consequences of globalization. Till then, thank you.